woman from Texas couldn't get an abortion back home, so she came here to Colorado, where it's legal. But even after the procedure, she worried if she could get in trouble for crossing state lines.
Some Democratic state legislators here are pushing a bill that would protect patients like her and the doctors who treat them.
We've reported on this huge influx of people coming to Colorado for abortions, but tonight we actually hear from one of them. Here's 9 News reporter Jennifer Meckles.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Hi, how are you, Jennifer?
Hi, good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
We spoke to Lauren Miller from her home in Dallas. She's not traveling much these days.
You are how many weeks pregnant? You're due any day now with a new baby.
I am 38 weeks pregnant, so baby could arrive any moment.
This is a story about a pregnancy that was very much wanted.
I'd always wanted 3 kids, so since we already have one, finding out that I was pregnant with twins was actually very exciting to me because it meant just one last pregnancy and I'd have all 3.
Around 12 weeks, Lauren says her doctors, multiple doctors, diagnosed one of the twins with serious developmental and genetic problems.
Baby B was not viable. It was just a matter of time. And every day that he continued to develop, he put his twin and myself at greater risk. But that was really where the conversation ends.
So a lot of this communication you're having is, I'm sure, very scary, but also kind of unclear.
Exactly. So it's just very unclear when people are talking it almost feels like we're talking in code because nobody wants to say the word abortion out loud here.
Lauren and her husband left Texas, where abortion is banned, and traveled to Colorado, where abortion services are protected by state law.
So the laws in Texas are so confusing that we didn't know. You don't know who wants to be a vigilante. We just didn't know who is going to sense what we're doing and turn us in, was our general sentiment.
This is her last picture of the twins together.
The procedure I had done is called a single fetal reduction.
By ending baby B's pregnancy, she hoped to save baby A and herself.
So when we got home, we really didn't know what to say and who to say it to. Everybody's heard for years of, why don't we just leave this to the states? But what happens when a state isn't content with what's going on inside their own borders? And this is where that shield law can actually protect people in Colorado.
My name is Lauren Miller, and I had to travel to Colorado for an abortion.
On Thursday, Lauren testified remotely in support of Senate Bill 188, a new Democrat-sponsored bill that would protect patients who get legally protected health care in Colorado and their providers from outside legal threats like lawsuits or investigations.
There's a certain terror to being hunted by your home state when all you're trying to do is access health care.
Fear has dominated so much of this pregnancy, but soon, joy will take over again.
That's where I'm just really excited to be in these last few days and to meet our son, because I don't think it's going to be till I count, every finger and toe that I'm going to be finally relieved.
So this specific bill in Colorado is part of a bigger package of bills around reproductive health care and abortion backed by Democrats. Republicans have called this extreme. This bill cleared a Senate committee on Thursday along party lines after a lot of testimony from both supporters and opposition. And finally, Lauren is part of a lawsuit now against the state of Texas, along with several other women who were in similar situations with wanted pregnancies. Ultimately, they couldn't carry through.
This is incredible. I mean, one example, but so many women are going through what Lauren went through. I mean, she's just trying to protect herself and, the viable pregnancy that she did have. I just can't imagine going through that. And
the point of her testifying in this bill, Alex, was talking about the fear of trying to figure out how much of that she could talk about when she made that trip. That was kind of the overarching reason that she wanted to make sure that this bill in Colorado can help protect other people.
When she says being hunted by her own state, I mean, that'll put it into perspective real quick. Jenny, thank you.
So just as fast as the snow arrived, away it goes. Not much stuck around in the metro area because the ground was still pretty toasty from Wednesday's record warmth. The storm cleared in time to give us mostly blue skies and some nice sunsets across Colorado. We'll stay cool through the weekend, but some mountain ranges could still get heavy snow. Danielle will have details in a moment. We are now down to 16 people running for Denver's mayor. Tattered Cover CEO Kwame Spearman dropped out of the race suddenly today and endorsed someone else. He apparently even blindsided his own campaign team. Spearman had taken hardline stances on homelessness and immigration. He argued that neighborhoods should have more control over city policy, and he said that unhoused people are, quote, exploiting the system. Spearman also misrepresented a study of Denver's unhoused population to claim that people on the streets don't want a home. The study actually found the opposite. Spearman has endorsed candidate Kelly Brough. Brough has also pledged to forcibly clear homeless encampments and to arrest those who refuse shelter or treatment. Spearman was polling around 1% in our Survey USA poll commissioned by 9 News and our partners at Colorado Politics, the Denver Gazette, and MSU Denver. Ballots are already out, but once Spearman files a withdrawal form, votes for him will not be counted. Jamie Gillis, who was the runner-up in the 2019 mayoral race, was working as Spearman's campaign treasurer. She posted on Facebook this evening saying that Spearman did not consult his campaign team about dropping out, did not tell them until the last moment, and Gillis said she does not support his endorsement of Bruff. Gillis wrote, "To say I'm disappointed is an understatement."
6 moms are suing a man they hoped would help them in their custody battles. They say instead, Dr. Mark Kilmer ignored evidence of domestic violence.
They expressed to Kilmer that they were afraid that he would physically harm them if they didn't conform to what he wanted.
Rhonda Woodruff is one of those mothers. She says Kilmer ignored her claims and her children's while working on her custody case. Kilmer is a psychologist in Boulder County and a court-appointed PRE, or a parental responsibility evaluator. He also pleaded guilty to his own domestic violence-related charges back in 2007. The case was dismissed after he completed probation.
I don't know how the state court administrator's office even allows an abuser to take these cases and deal with families that are, domestic abuse victims.
The state says Kilmer was suspended last October, but he still worked on Woodruff's case last month. The state said it's up to courts to decide if he keeps working on the pending cases. Kilmer sent 9 News a statement calling the allegations baseless and politically driven. 2 people in Highlands Ranch are facing assault and other charges, accused of setting a booby trap that hurt somebody at the front door. Douglas County deputies say this happened at a house near Quebec and University last Friday. Get this, someone called 911 saying they heard a loud boom and then they found wire around their leg. Deputies didn't elaborate on what the trap was exactly, but did say the victim went to the hospital with ear pain and vision issues.
3 people at a senior home are facing charges accused of lying about a domestic violence incident. The supervisor working at the time is also named in a lawsuit at another senior home where a resident froze to death outside. Louisville police say they were called to the Balfour Cherrywood Village mid-January. 2 employees and a supervisor said that a husband hit his wife. They told police the wife was in memory care, couldn't remember the incident. Police arrested the husband, but when officers came back for surveillance video, a supervisor, Deanzu Mosqueda, said that the employees lied. The domestic violence never happened. Mosqueda is also named in a lawsuit at a different Balfour location when a resident wandered out of a room last year and froze to death after getting locked out. No one is facing criminal charges in that death.
Electric cars are growing in popularity, but some across the country have caught fire. It's a new danger firefighters are preparing for. The training is a bit different, though, because batteries are much harder to put out. 9 News reporter Kelly Rinke found out crews can't always rely on water.
On a scooter, like a small one, we're talking 40 to 60 of these cells.
Today's lesson is about batteries and when they explode.
Any idea how many cells are in a Tesla Model S? 6,000. 7,000.
Electric car or scooter fires are a new danger firefighters at South Metro have to prepare for because it's happening across the country.
As we've been doing this class, they had a 5-alarm fire in the Bronx that was caused by 1 scooter fire.
Captain Chris Wells recently started this training for the department.
This is the car fire blanket. As you can see, it's a lot more robust.
Crews have to learn a different technique with these kinds of fires because water isn't an option.
That normally we can put a car fire out with about 500 gallons of water, and that's what we carry on our fire trucks. That does not work at all.
What does seem to work is this tarp. Well, kind of.
What that does is it basically takes the oxygen out of that fire. The batteries in the car are still burning underneath. And if we have to, we can leave the blanket on, but it takes about 15 hours before that fire actually burns itself through.
No one is going to wait around for that, but it does give firefighters time to save houses or cars nearby.
The fires burn much hotter. We're looking at 2,500 degrees is how hot these fires can burn, compared to like 1,700 degrees of a typical fire.
When the tarp comes off, the fire starts again.
The cleanest burning way that we can deal with this is let the fire burn itself out, and that usually takes about an hour.
Not the most efficient fire call, but it's a drill that keeps everyone safe.
It's not the magic bullet, it buys us time.
Kelly Rinke, 9 News.